On the way to the Ferrari service center right now in my Lamborghini. I am definitely a little bit disappointed that since I bought the car, it had 2 major issues. So I'm headed to the service center right now to check out what on earth is going on with this car. Because I've had this car for 26,473 miles and nothing's ever gone wrong. I am back at Avant-Garde after an excellent meeting. I'll describe what happened after that. Basically, well, I'll describe what happened after that. This car is a lot of the reason why, one, I'm friends with Mark over there who's dodging the camera.
I'm not dodging.
You're not dodging. But dude, this car and you at a all Lambo meet 70 mile Saturday drive is kind of why I'm here today and why a lot of things have happened, really. I heard his exhaust and I went, yeah, that sounds better than any other Huracan that was at the meet. What is it? And you're like, bro, it's my own exhaust. And I said, all right, let's do a sponsor deal where I promote it and you give it to me for free. And he goes, it's the best exhaust. We're not doing free. This is what it costs. And I went, what?
True story.
And he goes, this is a true story. And he goes, no, this is what it costs. We're not doing a deal. And I said, I'll take it. God. Yeah. And because most people don't do that. He was really proud of his product, didn't need any extra help, and I put it on my car and it sounds freaking awesome. Then, you know, his supercharger, yeah, it made it sound even a little bit better. That's a 900 horsepower car. It says Huracan, which I kind of like actually. And that was the story of that. I went to Avant-Garde, all of a sudden he fixes all my cars up, which is awesome. He fixes some other people's cars up too. Well, like everyone's cars up now at this point. We've got a lot of cool cars in the shop. Let's check this out right now. We've got the Huracan. We've got a beautiful Mercy with rotiforms. Of course, we've got the Huracan they've done a lot of work on in terms of spark plugs, oil changes, filters. Nothing has ever happened to this car and it's got 26,000 miles on it. Other than me driving it has happened to this car, but we've done pretty well here. And we've got this beautiful slammed wide-bodied GTR that's apparently really fast, which is cool because when it looks like this, it should be fast. And every GTR is fast, what am I saying? GT500 KR, that's pretty rare. Countach, that's ridiculous. And then we've got something very topically relevant. One, it's the same color, I believe, as Street Speed's 570S. Cool wing on it that looks similar to the 600 LT. But the reason I'm pointed at this car has to do with the underbody. One of my fears with my new car was I bought a very expensive car, the Aperta, and it concerned me that there was an underbody issue. It was missing 2 bolts and the underbody snapped off. But there's problems with all cars apparently, obviously. Check out the underbody of this thing. Not taking digs at anyone, it basically shows that whether it's a 2015 Aperta or a 2017 McLaren, there are going to be issues from the factory. This is OEM. Yeah, that's not ideal. And up here, well, it was floppier before they tightened these down, but there. We actually put. Oh, you put something in there. Yeah, that's really smart.
Just because we don't want to hear it.
Yeah, so because once you get to a certain speed, this starts flapping, and that's the same thing that happened on my Aperta, and that's how I noticed there was a problem, because it was going brrrr.
If this was your car, we would just put a self-tapping screw right in there.
I'm
and
down,
just bore
I'm
into
down,
the
but it's not my car.
Yeah, so we're just going to try the foam and see if that, you know, we're not going to be able to structurally change anything, but at least if we can quiet down the chatter that it does, we'll call that a win.
Now, the second issue with the Aperta, both of these are minor. Look, it's got a little underbody issue. It's being taken care of. The dealership's been awesome about it. Second issue was a coolant overflow tank. It might not even be the coolant tank. Essentially, I got a coolant overheat warning that came up on the car while I was filming a cool cinematic B-roll shot. I will actually play that video right now because gosh damn, is this, why did I say gosh damn? This car is just so beautiful. So let's roll that clip and then I'll explain. get to the top of the hill, one of my favorite driving roads, I get a coolant overheating warning. I go, oh no, that's not good. I flip up the display so it shows the coolant temperature. It's pinned in the red. So I pull over, throw the hazards on, the coolant temperature, it's dropping down, I'm feeling okay. Then I step out of the car, I go, well, let's let it cool off, let's see, maybe it'll be fine. And then Alex goes, yo, do you see that? And it's just spewing water out of the rear passenger side wheel well, which is concerning, but it is a fine Italian car, which might have some issues. Long story short, I was very nervous. It's an expensive car. The dealership is willing to do all these checks to make sure everything is perfect, and I honestly believe it is the car I bought. It had some mishaps, but every car does, except for Huracans, because they're literally perfect. I mean, there's literally been nothing wrong with this. But you know what? The Huracan isn't as pretty as the Aperta. It doesn't make me feel as good driving it as the Aperta. And if there's a couple downsides, just like not every single one of these cars in here is all that reliable, but the upsides outweigh the downsides. Are you scratching my car?
No, I'm still trying to get the Plastidip out of this thing.
Why? I like the Plastidip in it.
It's the pink racing stripe?
It's the pink racing stripe. It's hard to get that stuff out.
Yeah.
I tried to prove you could put Plastidip on a Lambo successfully. It turns out it wasn't that successful. It's still stuck in there.
It is satisfying to get like the smallest little granule of
exactly. Oh wait, what if we used a spray gun up close, like a air cannon?
Oh, I'm not inheriting this nightmare. You get to
no,
be
no,
the one that
I will
picks
do
that.
it. I will do it. I just don't have an air compressor at my house, but you have an air compressor at your shop.
We can provide you a lot of hot air.
Can you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the contents of both of our heads.
Well, helium I got. I don't know about you.
This is how I feel about Avant-Garde Exotics. They are the unicorn of shops. And that was actually meant to be a positive, so this is awkward. You guys are G's, dude.
Thanks for settling it for
Of course. I just wanted to let everyone know that you're a unicorn.
That's why it's here.
That's why it's here.
It's a reminder every day that we are a unicorn.
What I meant by that is that you can get good deals, you can spend less than at a dealership, get quality work, and have a bunch of good people with, you know, a bunch of inappropriate jokes in the background off camera, and we're having a lot of fun the whole time. So let's do a little walk around the shop because you always have the coolest shit, literally ever. Okay, so this is a Gallardo on a lift with a transmission and limited engine parts.
We just finished putting the engine in it. So
Yeah.
we built an engine, put it in, and he's doing all the
You
finals.
built the engine.
Yes.
This is why they touched my Huracan for an oil change. They rebuilt the engine on a Gallardo, and he rebuilt one on this too. Now I'm a little scared because I have a Lamborghini, and you're rebuilding all of these engines. But the good news is mine hasn't needed anything like that.
Well, they're the old ones, so we'll see how yours fares.
I think they did a great job with the Huracan, to be honest.
It's pretty indestructible.
This thing has been through the ringer in a positive way, and it has lived a lovely life, and it's been pretty good, right?
And they don't ask for anything.
Don't ask for anything.
They go.
The Mercies, I'm well aware that they have their fair share of issues. One of my best friends just got one, and I'm so happy for him. I'm worried about the clutch.
And rightfully so.
Yep.
Tell your friend, never back it up a hill.
I think that's self-explanatory, but
Never
a lot
back
of
it up
people
a hill.
don't know that.
That was with your Gallardo too.
That is the one thing about the older cars. In my Gallardo, I had to treat it like a princess, which was fine because I'm like, it's a Lambo. I'll treat it well or whatever. But coming to a stop sign, popped it in neutral so it wasn't wearing the clutch. Never reverse up a hill. In fact, every single time I took off from a standstill, I was nervous about the clutch life. I was always in sport mode because it engaged the clutches faster. The clutch, not the clutches. It's a single clutch. Lovely. And you know what? I treated it really well, and the hydraulic lines exploded. So
The Huracan is the first Lamborghini to deliver
what Lamborghini is.
What you wanted when you looked at that poster as a kid.
Yeah. No, it is. It's beautiful. It's stupid fast. It drives like it looks. It handles so much better than any other Lambo they've ever made. The Performante is like, whew, sick.
All of the things that you took for granted, you assumed it was going to drive great. You assumed it was going to be reliable. You assumed that, but this is the first one that
truly did it.
Delivered it in the real world.
And I'm hoping with the recent purchase of the SVJ, now I'm not clowning myself. It still has a single clutch ISR gearbox. It still is an Aventador. So I'm gonna have to be a little bit wary on the clutch, and I'm gonna be driving it like, do you have any suggestions on proper precautions for saving clutch life on a single clutch Aventador?
You're not gonna do a clutch on an Aventador anytime soon. Come and see me in 50 or 60,000 miles.
Really?
To talk about it. Oh yeah.
That's all I need to know. Look, This is what I love so much about this Huracan. So This car, I am never selling it. This car means so much to me that this is gonna be in my life in one form or another. Maybe it has a different body kit, maybe there's different wheels, maybe there's a different wrap. Maybe I even take the supercharger off and I do something crazy. There's 2 superchargers, there's 2 turbos, who freaking knows? But I know this car and I want to get this car at some point, I'm not racing to do it, to 100,000 miles because it can make it. There's a time and a place for that. The Aperta, I'm not gonna get it to 100,000 miles for value. I think it might make it pretty far. The 458s are really reliable. But an Aventador, it has its share of problems, but it's a naturally aspirated V12 pure Lamborghini with a single clutch gearbox that shifts faster than most dual clutches, and it punches you in the neck, and it's all about excitement and fun. You just can't drive it quite as far, but they're saying 55,000 miles on a clutch. That sounds like enough miles in an SVJ to me. What do you guys think? So this McLaren, and I'm pretty familiar with McLaren exhaust mods, has a new full exhaust and no cats. And that means on a 570S, massive flames. And that's a good thing. Now, I was just told there's an Aventador outside with an exhaust that sounds so ridiculous, the world might end. So I think, guys, do you think we need to hear that? Probably. Yep, the world might end indeed. Can we hear this thing?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do it. Here we go, I hear it already. That's just going in reverse and it sounds like that. Oh my God. That's ridiculous. That's one of the scariest things I've ever heard. Oh my God. So I love the way my Huracan sounds, which has an AGX exhaust on it. This is Avant-Garde's version of an exhaust for the Aventador, and that is the most terrifying but epic sounding thing I've ever heard. And this thing shoots massive flames that make such loud pops and bangs, it actually scared me for my life. I understand what you've done here, and I quite like it.
Do the Lord's work here.
Headed back home now because my dog needs to be let out. I love that thing so much. It's not that I'm bummed that I have to end plans early to go see my dog. It's like, no. I want to see my dog now. So we're gonna go play with the dog. We're gonna drive this Huracan home. Overall, super successful day. I'm stoked that the problems with the Aperta on the surface, we're getting them investigated, but don't seem like a big deal whatsoever. It is a car at the end of the day. It just happens to be one of my favorite cars of all time. Fun times at the shop with Avant-Garde, always. Fun times with Alex, he's holding the camera right now. Fun times in the Huracan, and then of course, the best times with my Puffers Ketchup. Let's head home. All right, guys, well, I'm freaking winded from running about 3 steps, taking care of this good girl. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like always, please bounce the channel and subscribe. Follow. Oh my gosh. Well, then don't follow you. Follow Frenchie and Ketchup on Instagram. Come here. Who's the cutest dog in the world? And as always, I look forward to seeing you next video.